Hello, my dear children. Today I'm going to discuss the next portion of the chapter multiplication in plant, that is pollination. Beta ji, we have done the structure of flower, we have done the vegetative propagation, asexual reproduction, and we have also discussed the male and female part of the flower regarding in the sexual reproduction. Now I'm coming to the next topic. What is pollination? What is pollination? The pollination is a method where pollen grains are picked from an anther. The anther is the male part. I'm just telling you again so that you can recall. This is the male part, stamen, which consists of anther and filament. Anther and filament. Inside the anther, the pollens are present, pollen grain, and pollen grains are male gamete or male sex cell. Pollination is a method where pollen grains are picked from an anther, which is the male part of flower, and transferred to the flower's female part, that is stigma. We can also say the transfer of, simple definition, the transfer of pollen grain from mature anther to the stigma of a pistil is called the pollination. To make the pollination work successfully, the pollen grain must be transferred from the same species of flower. It means if the the pollen is of rose flower, it should be transferred to the same flower, the female part of the rose flower. Now, beta ji, we come to the next topic, the type of pollination. The pollination is of two types. One is the self-pollination and other is the cross-pollination. What is self-pollination? It is the primary type, simple type of pollination which include a single flower. Self-pollination occurs when pollen grain fall directly from anther into the stigma of the flower. It is very simple and fast process in which there is formation of a zygote is formed, and from the zygote seed is formed. I am repeating, what is self-pollination? It is the pollination that takes place within the same flower or different flowers of same plant. Different flowers of same plant. Yes. Okay. And very common example, lily. You can take the example of lily, and you can see in the diagram also. This is the female part, stigma. This is the female part, and this is the male part. And inside, this is anther, and inside the anther, you can see this black dot-like structure, pollens are present, and from this anther, the pollens are shifting to the stigma. And this is called you can see it is the single flower. The anther is of the same flower is going, the pollen of the same flower is going from anther to the stigma of same flower. That's why it is called the self-pollination. Now the next is cross-pollination. What is cross-pollination? As the name indicates, the cross-pollination occurs when pollen grains are transferred to the flower from different plant, to a flower from a different plant. This is not the complex type. It is the complex type. Sorry, beta. It is the complex type of pollination, and self-pollination is the simple type of pollination. It allows the transfer of pollen grain from the anther of the flower into the stigma of another flower. This method leads to increase in the genetic diversity. Why this increase the genetic diversity? Because there is the pollination occurs between the two different flowers. The anther of one flower is pollinated, transferred to the stigma of another flower. It is the pollination which occurs between the flowers on different plants of same kind. Simple definition, I am repeating. It is the pollination that takes place between the flowers on different plants of same kind. You can see in the diagram, this is anther inside the anther the pollens are present. This is one flower and this is second flower. Now you can see in the second flower the anthers are also present, but the anthers of the first flower is transferred. It's going to the stigma of second flower. The pollen of the first flower are shifting, transfer to the stigma of another flower. That's why it is called the cross pollination. Now the cross pollinations occurs by the different agents. The pollens, you know that the black color dot like structures are there. They are very lightweight. Pollens are very small and lightweight, and they carried from one flower to another flower by different means, and these means are called the agents of pollinations. And these agents of pollinations are also called the pollinators. The process of cross pollination require help of biotic and abiotic agents. Biotic means living. You must know what is biotic agents. Biotic means living and abiotic means non-living. The biotic agents, animals, birds, insects, and abiotic is wind, water, and these agents are called the pollinators. What are the pollinators? The pollinators are those agents which are responsible for transfer of pollen from anther to the stigma. Now the pollination by wind. First of all, the pollination by wind. The pollination by wind is called anemophily. Beta, it is not given in your book. The name of this method, the pollination by wind, is called the anemophily. It is the natural and common agency of pollination. When the wind blow, it carry pollen from anther of one flower to the stigma on the pistil of another flower. Now you must know what are the characteristics of the flowers which undergo the wind pollination. That the wind pollinated flowers are not very bright and colored, and they don't produce the nectar, and pollens produced in large number to overcome the loss in the transition. And pollens are light in weight because they are moving by wind. That's why they are very light in weight. And the example of this is coconut, palm is there, maize is there, grasses are there. These all are the best example of wind pollinated agent. Sugarcane, wheat, paddy, these are occurs by the wind pollination. Is that clear, beta ji? Maize plant is specially adapted to wind pollination. It bears unisexual flower. A bunch of male flower are placed terminally at the top of plant to release pollen. Pollens are very small like dust particle, and female flowers are placed below in the lower portion, and long and sticky thread like you can say that the thread like structures are present, and they move with the air, and they goes to the cobs placed below in the axil of leaves. In this way there is wind pollination occur. And you know that in the wind pollination also like some plant like pines, pollen grains having wings. This is also one of the characteristics of the pollen grains which is pollinated by wind, that they are having wings so that they can easily move from one place to another place. Now the pollination by animals, it is also called zoophily. It is also called zoophily. Animals play an important role in plant pollination, and they also played a great role in seed dispersal also. By the animals, the pollen move from one place to another place, and they stick to the body of the animal. Sometimes the animal eats the fruit of a plant, then they move to different location, and in this movement there is spreading of pollen or the seed takes place. Now the one of the other method is pollination by Pollination by water. What is pollination by water? Flower of aquatic plant. Flower of aquatic plants are pollinated by water. Pollen grains coming out of anther float on the water and carried to the stigma with the water current. I am repeating. The aquatic plants, which are present in the water, or there are some plants which are grow near the bank of rivers, etc., ponds, etc. They are pollinated by water, and the pollen grains coming out of the anther float on the water and carried to the stigma by the water current. And the example is hydrilla. Hydrilla is very common name. Hydrilla is the example, and trappa is the example. Water lily is the example by which the pollination occur by the water. Now, the next is the pollination by the artificial way. This is not in your book, beta ji. This is also called the anthropophily. This is done by the human being. In this process, when there is difficulty in the pollination occurs by the biotic or abiotic agents by artificial means. वो हम क्या करते हैं? In this method, we use the artificial method. We take the pollen of one plant and we take the egg of another flower or plant, then we fuse them. This is also called the hybridization. We artificially take pollen and artificially we take the egg from the female and they fuse to form the seed. Okay, beta, it is not given in your book. If you want to do that, you can do for your knowledge. Now, we come to the next part, that the structure of how the pollination occurs and germination of pollen on stigma and fertilization. You can see in the diagram, this is stigma, then a tube-like structure is style, and here this is ovary. This is ovary. Pollen on reaching stigma. You can see these are the pollen grains. They are reaching on the stigma of the pistil belonging to a flower from the similar plant, germinates a tube-like structure. This tube is called the pollen tube. This tube is called the pollen tube. The pollen tube grows through the style. You can see, आप देख रहे हैं कि ये बिल्कुल style के साथ grow हो रही है. Then it is going over here. It grows through the style to the pistil and it grows till it reaches to the ovary. वो तब तक grow होती रहती है जब तक वो ovary में नहीं पहुंचती. And inside the ovary, the ovules are present. Inside the ovary, ovules are present. On reaching the ovule, you can see here, on reaching the ovule, the pollen tube burst and open, and male gamete, two male gametes are there, the male gamete goes to the egg apparatus. One of the male gamete combine, unite here with the female sex cell, or the female sex cell is called the egg. The female sex cell is called the egg, beta. जो एक pollen है वो fuse करता है female egg cell से, और that is also called the female gamete. And this process of fusion of male beta and female gamete, the fusion of male and female gamete is called the fertilization. The process of male and female gamete is called the fertilization. Fine. When the fertilization occurs, then both combine to form the zygote. What is the product of fertilization? The question is, when the fertilization occurs, what is formed? What is the product of fertilization? When the fertilization occurs, this is the male part and this is the male part, both fuse to form a single nucleus, that is called the zygote. That is called the zygote. I want to tell you, beta ji, there are so many pollen fall on the stigma and germinate to form many pollen tube, but only one only one male fuses with the one egg cell in the ovule. Egg cell is present in the ovule. There are, you can see in the diagram, so many pollen grains are on the stigma, but only one pollen fuse with the egg cell present in the ovule. Now we come to the the fertilization. After the fertilization, the zygote is formed. The product of fertilization is zygote, or it is also called oospore. Zygote cell divide and further redivide to form the baby plant or embryo. It form embryo, and from the embryo further multiplication occur, and there is formation of seed. So the zygote further divide to form the seed, and during in all these processes the ovary swell up. जो ओवरी है बेटा जी वो फूल जाती है, बिकॉज जो डिवीजन है, ऑल द डिवीजन अकर इनसाइड द ओवरी, एंड इन दिस प्रोसेस द ओवरी swells up and it become the fruit. So the seeds are present inside the seed. So this is the importance of fertilization, that by the fertilization the seed and fruit is formed, and fruit protect the seed present inside it. Most of the fruits having seed inside it, and they help in dispersal of seed also. And what is the function of seed? Seed bears the embryo or the baby plant. It also store the food for the baby plant, and from the seeds so many new plants are grown. Thank you beta ji. We have done up to the formation of fruit and seed. Thank you. Have a good day.